A fight for control of the calamity. It's Dumbledore's Army Brilliant Event Part 1 Dialogue. So welcome to the storyline video for Dumbledore's Army Brilliant Event Part 1. So here we find Harry and the team fighting for control of the calamity. So for the storyline, we need to know what the Fanables are. Obviously this video is coming out like before the events even started. And it's actually out before the event has even been announced properly. So we have Brilliant Lee Jordan, Brilliant Neville Longbottom, the Goat, the Dumbledore's Army Signup Sheet, Portrait of Ariana Dumbledore. Intro, Harry. Fantastic news, Hermione. I was successfully able to start a new surge in the calamity by getting it to snatch my memories of Dumbledore's army. Hermione. That explains why there were 3 Neville Longbottoms in my office this morning. I can't say I share your enthusiasm that a new surge has begun, however. You've already proved yourself capable of manipulating the calamity, why start another? Harry. Ever since the last surge began, I felt a sense of deep foreboding. I thought it might be a byproduct of the dark nature of that surge, but it hasn't dissipated since the surge ended. If anything, it's gotten stronger. I fear the calamity is building up to something nefarious. So, when I sent someone, perhaps Lethifold or Bargheist, from that letter we intercepted, started to manipulate the calamity again, I immediately tried to wrench control away. It wasn't easy, but it appears I've managed to override their surge with one of my own. Hermione. That's brilliant, Harry. The ability to redirect a surge will go a long way towards preventing the calamity's power from being abused and corrupted by dark magic. Even so, I'd rather we stamp out this surge quickly. Something about it feels off to me. So first clue, Harry thinks Lethifold or Bargheist. We established Bargheist was kind of grim, so must be Lethifold, right? So now we move on to the Fanables. We have Brilliant Lee Jordan. Constance. Remember quite a few surges back how after we returned Fanables of ourselves, we were left with memories of conversations with Grim Forley we never actually had. Hermione. I remember. Grim implanted those memories to try and communicate with us. Why do you ask? Has it happened again? Constance. Yes, to your old friend Lee Jordan. Apparently he's suddenly been able to recall an unfamiliar, unsettling memory of a wizard making an example out of another wizard by using the Cruciatus curse on him. Mercifully, he spared the details, but it sounds awful. Hermione. This is Harry's surge. He should be the only one able to communicate using the calamity. Why would he subject a friend to something so vile? Unless... Constance. Did Lee get a good look at either of the wizards' faces? Constance. He tried, but the memory was too foggy to make anyone out clearly. What was clear to him, however, was the feeling that the memory was meant to be a message. Brilliant Neville Longbottom. Harry, I just had a rather concerning talk with Neville Longbottom. Since we returned his Fandible, he's been able to distinctly recall a memory of a conversation with an unknown wizard in it. The wizard questions his loyalties and tries to coerce him into making an unbreakable vow to prove it. At first I thought he'd have one too many butterbeers. But, see, why do people say that? Because butterbeers are supposed to be not very alcoholic, which means if they were alcoholic, that means they were underage when they were drinking butterbeer in the broomsticks. But if it is alcoholic, or isn't alcoholic, then why would this make sense? I don't get it. I know house elves get drunk from butterbeer, but... Anywho, then I wondered if the stress of the calamity's dark turn had somehow unknowingly caused me to implant a false memory in his Fandible. However, after speaking with him further, I'm convinced neither are true. Constance. But that would mean someone was able to use the calamity to communicate during a surge they didn't create. How is that possible? Harry. To be honest, I'm less concerned with the how than the why and who. I've no doubt that someone sent this memory for a reason. Figuring that out may be key to uncovering who Lethifold and Bargheist are and what they're planning. Clearly, they've forgotten the conversation they had in previous videos, in previous events. The Goat. Hermione. Dumbledore's army owes a great deal to Aberforth Dumbledore. This is Dumbledore's brother. If he hadn't sent Dobby to rescue me, Harry and Ron from Malfoy Manor, we'd likely would have died. He even supplied food and water to our friends hiding from the Carrows in the Room of Requirement. I suppose the point I'm trying to make is that Aberforth does not deserve his dodgy reputation, though I can't say I understand his interest in goats. The Signup Sheet. Harry. When I learned that Marietta had triggered the jinx Hermione placed on this parchment by ratting Dumbledore's army out to Umbridge, I believed she was a foul git and a traitor. But perhaps she was just afraid. That doesn't excuse her actions, of course, but I understand why she felt she had no choice but to turn us in. Fear is a powerful motivator. It can lead anyone astray, even myself. People often assume I must have been fearless to confront Voldemort like I did, but the truth is that I was afraid. Terrified, really. Even so, I was able to overcome my fear because I realised standing up to him was more important. That's the mark of real courage. Not a lack of fear, but the ability to continue on in spite of it. Portrait of Ariana Dumbledore. Harry. Poor Ariana Dumbledore. To this day, I'm not sure what's more tragic, her untimely death or the guilt Dumbledore must have felt. Right, the end dialogue. Harry. Neville and Lee were both left with new and frankly disturbing memories after becoming Fandables. Memories I'm certain I didn't implant. Someone has clearly figured out how to embed messages in others' surges. Hermione. I'm not so sure about that, Harry. You created this search in response to someone else starting to manipulate the Calamity. In other words, another search was already in its preliminary stages when you intervened. We both thought you were successful in wrenching control away from them. But what if that wasn't entirely the case? What if parts of this witch or wizard's surge, namely these memories, got absorbed into yours? Harry. I'm far from an expert on the Calamity, but it certainly seems plausible, doesn't it? In which case, it raises all sorts of concerning questions. Hermione. If my theory is correct, what elements of the witch or wizard's surge will likely continue to manifest once the surge picks back up again? Perhaps we will get more clarification then about who those memories belong to and why they were sent. So that's the end of part 1. Obviously, a lot is coming in part 2, which I'm well aware of. But in summary, Harry was able to take control of the Calamity as the surge was being produced by this mysterious third party, who isn't Grim. So it looks like because Harry stole the control from somebody else, they both kind of have an influence over this event. So who is this mysterious third party? So we know a Letherfold and a Bugheist, the latter we think is Grim, according to Constance, are able to influence the Calamity, but it looks like there's a dark third party. So Lee Jordan's memory of a wizard making an example out of another wizard by using the Cruciatus Curse was very reminiscent of Voldemort. Of course, leading a good look at the faces. Neville Longbottom also has a memory implanted, where one wizard questions the other's loyalties and tries to coerce him into making an unbreakable vow, which of course means you would die if you break the unbreakable vow. So it looks like someone in our mysterious third party is breaking ranks. Stay tuned for when we find out a lot more information about this third party. That's in part 2. Also, in the second video, I actually go into my theory on life, the universe and everything. Basically, I have a theory about how this all works out and what's actually happened all the way from the London 5 right through to the video I haven't watched yet. So how does this make you feel? What do you think about this event so far and how the storyline is going? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you like and subscribe because it really helps support the channel. And also don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Zealman. That's about it for now. So brush your many spells, get you ones ready, Wizards Unite.